Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So everybody keeps asking me for a state of the collection and I'm just going to give it to you. These are my top 6 watches. I've done technical data on all these watches, and even when I was reading it out, it just sounded so boring. I just thought I'd just show you the goddamn watches. So if you're ready to come with me on this quick journey, I'm going to show you each watch in my top 6 collection, why I bought it, and I'm even going to tell you what its current retail value is, because I know a lot of you want to know how much these suckers cost. So this is the Rolex Green Dial OP Oyster Perpetual 41. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It tells the time. It's as plain as they can be, and I absolutely love this watch. The favorite part of this watch is the fact that the Rolex crown is in reverse, which means that it's just the ultimate tour watch, and I just love the mechanism on it. Everything about this watch is perfect, and it screams use me as a daily. It absolutely screams it. One other thing that only a watch geek would love is if you see that the end links invert inwards. They're not flat, so they give you this gorgeous chamfering bump here and here. I mean, it just makes the case blend in with the bracelet. One thing you need to know about this watch being the perfect tour watch, and it does outclass a lot of other brands. It's got a 70-hour power reserve, which even the Omegas are struggling at 55 to 60. This watch, you can put this one down on a Friday night and you can confidently pick this one back up on a Monday morning and hit the ground running, knowing that it's still going to be working perfectly. Next watch in the collection is an oldie but goldie. Yeah, it's this one. It's my Rolex Submariner Long F. This one is particularly special because it was a transition model, and if you see down here, there's a long F. Now only a geek would see that. So it's a dial issue. It's something to do with the dial. It's something to do with the fact that they went from the F being long to an F being short. Really, it's a load of horse shit, but in the watch collecting world, it does mean something. This one, I upgraded the bracelet to put in new old stock, but you really have to see how crap this is. You have to get the claw like this, and you have to try and make sure it grabs right. You see it trying to grab right? And then you click it in place like that. That's its probable downfall, but you got to think this watch design is easily 30 years old. So you can't really complain. And when you see the newer bracelet on my newer sub, it's light years ahead. Now I do have a new Seamaster on order, and that Seamaster was around the same time as this watch, and the bracelet is considerably better than this watch. So if I was to compare this with my 2254-50, the 2254-50 would win hands down. Still love this watch though, absolutely gorgeous watch. Best thing about this watch I would suggest is the, I think it's the thinness of the watch. It's just super thin. Really back to the old days of being a thin watch. Now the power reserve on this watch is, I don't actually know. Can you believe that? It's got to be 40 to 50. I don't think you buy these ones to wear as a daily, but maybe you do now, who knows. Right, let's move on to the modern version of the watch. And this watch, again, this watch really speaks for itself. This is the Rolex Submariner Date. It is the caliber 3235 movement. And again, it's got a 70-hour power reserve. Now, would you believe that both of these are the same size case? These are both 41 cases. They're both 41 cases, I did say that already. And they both have a 70-hour power reserve. So again, both of these are great beta watches. You wear them Monday to Friday, and then you throw them down, literally, and then you pick them back up again and you hit the ground running on a Monday. What I particularly love about this watch is the bracelet clasp. You just pull it out like that, and then you just move it along and then you lock it in place like that, and you just can change it on the fly. You just pull it out again, push it up like that, click it in place. Again, you hit the ground running, guys, like that, click it into place. It's going to be too big for me now, and then you just put it on. I think design-wise, this could be the best clasp ever made. What I particularly love about the watch as well is that I was really lucky. The Rolex AD on this one put my birthday on the card, so it's a very special timepiece to me. It's from a very special jewelers as well. Now, I want to show you some Omegas. This watch, would you believe, is my most expensive watch. It's an Omega World Timer Titanium, and I want to tell you some interesting stuff about this watch. So, when they brought this watch out, people were annoyed that it's only grade 2 titanium, but as you can see, I've worn this watch and there's not a mark on the watch. That's because grade 2 titanium is perfectly fine for this watch. You would need grade 5 if you were in a more corrosive environment, and this is only a 15 bar watch, so you're only going to be 150 meters deep anyway. What I also love about this is that the dial is laser etched, and what that means is that that's burned on colors. So again, I just absolutely think this watch is another fantastic daily watch. Another thing I forgot to tell you about is that, where is the information on this watch? Okay, this is the caliber 8938 movement. It's got a 60-hour power reserve. It's 15 bar water resistant, but what's unusual is the lug to lug on this is 21 millimeters, and the case size is quite big. It's 43 millimeters. But look how it wears on my wrist, and I've only got a 6 7/4 wrist. It wears pretty small, guys. And if you compare it to the Rolex, sure, it looks big, but it doesn't look massive on the wrist. I think what I really like about this World Timer is literally the simplicity of the dial. It's a GMT without too many hands. Now, a lot of people get this wrong. You have your time set on your local time, right? And you have your home time. If you set the watch to another home time, that's great. But none of the other times are accurate. So people think that because it says World Timer, it tells the time everywhere in the world. It doesn't. This is the 5th watch in my collection, and it's one of the most beautiful. It's basically a design reimagination. What's really interesting is this bezel is non-ceramic. This watch costs $2,000 more than the ceramic version. Doesn't have a date function. It's the caliber 8806 movement, not the caliber 880 movement. It's got a 50-hour power reserve. It does everything else like Seamaster does, but it's not as robust. And some of the other interesting things about this watch is there's a 60 at the top, not a pip. And you can see there's a lollipop second hand. Now mine was not moving, so we're gonna have to activate this now, guys. So by just doing a little wind like that, you see the little lollipop starts to move. Lock it back in, like so. And now what you really want to see is you want to see the back of this watch. So you've got the little Bond fella. He is connected to the second hand. He does that. I think I used to know what that was. I think he does it 15 times a minute. It could be 15 and a half. But some other clever things about this particular watch is you've got 7 screws to represent the Bond, and you've got the Bond logo for the 60th anniversary on the back of the case. It's a sublime watch, and on the Milanese bracelet, it is extremely comfortable. Now, I never had a problem with the standard bracelet, but a lot of people don't like it. What you can do is to upgrade your watch, you can just simply buy this bracelet, and you've recreated the watch. What I personally love about this watch is the cleanness of the dial, and I absolutely love the lollipop second hand. I mean, it's just a masterpiece in design. Beautiful watch. Now, last but not least, in the 6-watch collection, I've got my Snoopy. There's a lot of people that want this watch, and I want you to be careful what you wish for. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't buy this watch, and then that's fair enough. Don't have to listen to me. I love this watch, but I find it too delicate to wear as a daily or anything like that. So it's basically a princess. You literally have to manually wind the watch every day. You see and you can now see that the Snoopy second hand is now moving. See that? And then you've got the standard chronograph. You pull out the winder to set the time as you do, and then you put it in, and then you activate the chronograph, which you very rarely use the chronograph, guys. Oh, sorry, it's not got enough power to activate the chronograph. See, now the chronograph is activated. I mean, that's purely down to me not wearing the watch, guys. And then you would shut the chronograph off, put it back, reset. So let's try that one more time. Activate the chronograph. There she is, activated. And then turn it off, reset it. I think most people would use this to time eggs. Pretty much that's what people would use it for. The only other issue I've got with the watch is only 5 bar, and for me 5 bar is just not safe to wear as a daily. Now, I'm not knocking this watch. I love this watch. It's got a caliber 3861 movement. It's got a 50-hour power reserve. It's 5 bar water resistant. The lug to lug is 20 millimeters, and the case size is 42 millimeters. It is quite a thick watch, and what a lot of people have done is they've covered the detail videos. I don't really want to cover this, but I just want you to be aware that this dial isn't white. It's actually silver. It's 925 silver. It's absolutely stunning in person. And then what I also like about the watch is the case back. And what a lot of people don't know is the moon has actually been printed on in metal. It's been printed straight onto the glass in metal. Now, Snoopy gets activated by pressing the chronograph button. If you press this chronograph button, Snoopy, and you see the world is moving, Snoopy comes out, and he's on the lunar module. Now Snoopy is there, but he's also inside the lunar module on this. Another clever thing they've done is there's a little marker there. That's a Naiad lock. That's so if they ever open the case, when they put it back, the moon is in the same position. Again, it's a gorgeous watch. So if you're going to collect watches, guys, just be careful that you've got to set yourself a target, and maybe, just maybe 6 is enough. I can't even get this one in. I can't get this one in. Maybe 6 is enough. Who knows, guys? You tell me in the comments. Do I have enough watches? I don't think so. I think we need to keep going. And I appreciate your time. Sorry this video is so bloody boring, but I don't know what you're supposed to talk about. They're just goddamn watches. Oh, I forgot to tell you. The current value of this Submariner on the pre-owned market is just below retail. The Snoopy, if you were to sell it today, is £12,500. That's what they would give you for the watch. The Bond, you would get retail back on that. You just would. Don't believe the hype. This watch, unfortunately, the Submariner, the classic long F, the 5-digit reference, the 14060M is not rated at the moment. You get about £8 for that watch. This watch is just selling a touch above retail. And then this watch, I'm not even going to tell you what this watch is worth because my wife is going to bloody kill me.